Good morning, beautiful people. Good morning. Good morning. I will never get nobody name up. They was like, they was like, is that a wig? What was that? I said, I don't know. I don't do hair. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't gonna say the other women that was in there. Some that at the fairness, they was laughing at the gym with me this morning. They said, we know you gonna put them hairstyle. I said, I am. So I know, because we got 130. I said I am. I'm going to put it up there. Now, one downvote is Liddell or Candace. I'm not messing with it.
Rocket,
But look who they said that was Crockett. We got Stephen A. Smith attacking her now. Jasmine Crockett.
attacking our whole nationality. So it ain't nothing new with him. He's the fastest racist. He all that. He let you know who he is. He ain't holding him up.
But he black.
Stephen Miller ain't.
No, Stephen A. Smith.
Oh, man.
I'm talking about Stephen A. Smith. You ain't see how they said I said, y'all wrong. Y'all wrong. I mean, listen, hey, some laugh with you, some laugh at you. They laughed at me plenty. Now, I laughing too, shit. But hey, it is what it is. But boy, we was rolling. They was like, you gonna put them pictures up? I said, I am. She the one brought up content. She said, oh, they trying to use stuff for content. I said, well, she gave it to me. But this what I have wanted to say. I was watching one guy. I was looking for his video, and he was talking about like in Chicago when they raided the hotel. And I get both sides, not the hotel, the apartment complex. But and as he was breaking it down, and it was like what they doing is, what they not telling people is, and it's bad on both sides, but these was the ones that the Democrats had when they took them to Martha's Vineyard and everything.
Yeah.
What's up?
I can't. I just can't fathom that, right? Like, I'm still stuck on, you touch my kids, I'm touching you. It's that serious. And the fact that he's just letting this man skate by, but a dude who does something peaceful, that rallies the community to do something peaceful, right? How often do we see people today get groups of people together, rile them up, and go set them loose? Jed gathered a group of people, got them focused, and did something productive, and he's the fucking monster? This is some bull.
Good morning, family. My bad that I came in late this morning, but you know what it is. I had an interesting last night. Let's just say, Otis didn't leave out this month with slipping and falling. Let's just go with that. But how y'all doing, beloved? What's good morning, Mr. Classic, Wanda Smith. I see we got a Wanda Jones Gaddis in the building. Good morning, Mr. Classic, Pastor Nicholas J. Gaddis, Macy Brooke Gaddis, Reverend. Shout out to my Gaddis clan. The lovely Deborah Luna is in the building. I see we got a Lakeisha Gaddis coming in. Concrete Jungle, what it do? Wanda Smith, how you doing? Miss Kawana Mack in the building. Demetria Brown, Mama Quill, Andre Holland, and we got the lovely Carolyn Hendricks. How y'all doing this morning? The lovely Lanita Murray in the building. How y'all doing on this lovely Friday? And thank goodness it's Friday, family. Thank goodness it's Friday. And as y'all know, man, you know, when Winters hit this thing tonight at the nightly nip tonight, she gonna try to get y'all something classic, because this will probably be our last day in Black History Month for 18. It will be today. What's up, Alan? Thank you for tapping in. It's gonna be the last day. This is the last month of Black History Month for us. But you will see me and Brother Elliot on the 1st, and that is Sunday. Yeah, the 1st. So I'm gonna try to see if Winters we can give y'all a good, a good last day of Black History Month. We're gonna try to give y'all a show tonight. That's all I can tell you. But how y'all been feeling? Y'all know what it is. It's $5 Friday, which sometimes be Freestyle Friday. You put it in the chat, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I've been seeing a lot of things on the national scene right now. I've been seeing we've been getting some of our political leaders have been getting very, very, very biblical lately. They've been getting very biblical lately.
Hey, boss.
What it do?
Sorry about that. I'm
Oh, you
having
good?
a fun issue with some of my credit cards right now. So whoever keeps stealing them, I hope you step on a fucking Lego.
What's good morning, sweet cupcake home break? Thank you for tapping in. And we got Matthew Gaddis. Good morning, Miss Kobe Fatty, aka Elizabeth P. Finney, the lovely one.
The lovely one.
Yeah, that's what it be when people support you like they do. And I gotta give us and Deborah Luna with the five. Let's get it started with the $5 super chat. And I gotta give us, we need a little something. You heard?
It's
We need a little something.
always Miss Deborah Luna that starts off $5 Friday, right?
Good morning, Sydney Green. See, hey, yeah, I'm trying to tell you right now, they will demonetize you for anything right now. I've been looking at it. The lovely Linda Chilton has tapped in. I mean, but they will demonetize you for telling the truth.
Yes.
I'll go with that. They not.
I there's a gentleman I've been watching lately. He's Jacob Munro, Munro, a rather conservative dude in England, fucking goth, but weird as hell, but interesting. And he's gotten demonetized 3 times in the past 2 months,
Nah, really.
and just for telling the truth.
I knew this. We always got Jason Beatrice. Come in with respect. Come in with respect. What's up, Raphael Bird? I can already see it's finna get that phone side be terrible. I rap, what it do? Wait, get up. What get up? Okay. I rap. Let me see how they finna come this morning. Miss Kariza Smith, thank you for tapping in. Let me get on that phone side.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of sharing.
I'm about
My
to
bad.
get on the phone side. I'm already seeing it. But I've been paying attention to a little bit of things going on right now, especially with this how they demonetize you. And I'm looking at it like, damn, you would get demonetized for telling the truth. Denise Cousins, good morning. Thank you for tapping in.
Michael Cooley reminding us to keep pressure on Davina. Good morning to you, good sir.
That's the good brother from Greenwood, Mississippi. Thank you for tapping in. Denise Cousins, thank you for tapping in. Raphael Berg, good morning. Everything good. That's what's up. I'm gonna have to check it out after the show or something. Definitely gonna get on it. Top of the morning, Jaja boy. Top of the morning. Thank you for tapping in. I've been looking at it. It's a lot of stuff going on right now. Don't nobody like it. Oh,
Mm.
I hit that like button on your way in. The lovely Sharon. Thank you for tapping in. And we got Elder Golden Child Sharp in the building. And ATL is in the building. You heard the lovely Eleanor Wicker. Thank you for tapping in. Let me see. Well, how about it? How is it Neely and Candace concerned about water rates? It's all for campaigning and accumulate votes to ensure a win. You right about that, Alan.
They're politicians. They don't really give a rat's ass about no one and nothing except looking good to get back in.
But how many times are we gonna keep falling for it?
That's
The lovely Carolyn.
entirely a question for the voters of Flint.
Thank you, the lovely Carolyn Hendricks. I'll second that 8 with 10. Thank you, beloved. We got Kenneth in the building. I told you when our moderators, the lovely Marcia A. Talbot is in the building. We got Anna Grimes, Berry Hill. Thank you for tapping in. From North Carolina, thank you for tapping in. We got the lovely Sherry Allen is in the building. Raf, what's up with the demonetization stuff? If you talk about certain things, I was watching Breaking Points. Yeah, fam, hit that like button as y'all come. I see 49. I was watching.
Breaking Point.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
with Crystal Ball, and I can't think of her co-host you do the show with. They had been breaking down the Epstein files, and they didn't demonetize them. They've been showing, I guess, talking about the war. The lovely Beverly Biggs Levy is in the building.
Wait, which war?
The one over Palestine and Israel.
Okay.
And
because
Pastor Marvin Gaddis stepping in
Pakistan,
from Atlanta, huh?
Pakistan and Afghanistan kicked off again last night.
Yeah, and then it was all they was also talking about how, and we got the lovely Kobe Fatty with her contribute to 810 with the $5 super chat. Thank you, beloved. Um, they were just talking about basically like how our us going like I guess basically Trump finna start the war with Iran and how he wanted to go, and they were saying, I was looking, I forgot what they saying, some influencers from, I want to say from Israel, where they trying to get a lot of the the conservative podcasters, because I guess for Mike Huckabee, him quoting the Bible fire saying why I want to say the Israeli Jews own palette. I mean, they should have Israel. I mean, they should be able to expand. And when he was talking, basically, he did something which Big Papa Tom Gaddis, thank you for tapping in from Rose Hill, Mississippi. He was talking about they could go take it. I guess because Tucker Carlson was, they was quoting out the Bible. No, what it is, you'll be demonetized for maybe like, it depends. It depends. It depends. Now, some
I
of them you can
was
get it back in not, like, I think 90 days. It depends.
I was having a conversation with a British friend yesterday, and she was complaining about how her government is censoring certain things. And while she doesn't partake in it, England has passed a morality bill on a certain style of pornography.
Mm-hmm.
And she says she doesn't really like the idea of that. And I go, you have no idea the amount of censorship in your life right now. Go look at YouTube, and the amount of dancing around myself and my friend here have to do just to keep monetized is insane. And it's not based on any laws or anything of that sort. It is based almost purely on the morals and ethics and the likes and dislikes, the wants and not wants of a company to continue a paycheck.
Right.
Like
It's
it's insane. If they do not like what you have to say, and you have a either big enough audience or you trigger some keywords, you get hit with a demonetization instantly.
Oh yeah, they had, I think it's like 90 days or something, but it can go down there up to a year. And yeah, thank you, Marseille Tarver with the $5 super chat, and the lovely Avis Hopkins. And good morning to everybody that's tapping in. RJ Cat even said it best. He said, "Good morning, everyone. Shutting down podcasts, keep the narrative with the mainstream media," and that's basically what they want to do. They don't want you. Oh, you go ahead.
YouTube is owned by Google. Google is owned by ABC. ABC has a large stake in many media companies around the world. So when they noticed that podcasts were kicking off and many of those mainstream media companies around the world were dropping off, they did two very, I'd say business savvy, but definitely one of them is unethical things.
Facts.
The first one is they started converting a lot of their news over to podcast format, or taking shorts of the news and posting it online, because TikTok generation, no one has an attention span of more than a goldfish. And then the other part is they would keep hammering down on rather prominent podcasters, which is why other platforms are popping up. You've got Twitch, which used to be about video gaming and is now one of the biggest just chatting and podcast sites out there. You've got Rumble, Pepperbox, which is a YouTube alternative for, I don't want to say for conservative folks. It's more for like gun nuts and people who like more raunchy veteran style humor, because a lot of jokes that veterans like to tell amongst each other get you demonetized pretty fucking fast.
Lanita Murray, thank you for the $5 super chat. You and everyone who contributes, loving me. Thank you. Good morning, beloved. No, it's a lot. Like I said, it's a lot. A lot of people, like when you seeing these podcasts right now, if you're not government friendly and you got a big following, yeah, they will demonetize you, because they feel that's a way, that's another form of way of shutting you down. And some can, and they feel that's a hell of a way to shut you down. Why you think when you seeing YouTube, not YouTube, what's the name? Netflix. You see Netflix start buying a lot of the podcast stuff. That's because they can keep the narrative the same.
I mean, that Netflix is still hurting from that abysmal disaster of a movie, Cuties, which saw something like 24% of their entire subscriber base walk away.
I mean, but that's why they buying up the influencers that who has a following. I'm
Mhm.
looking. It's all government controlled Pacific verbiage that wakes the human mind and expose the man behind the curtain as prohibited facts. If you tell the truth, you can become. Yes, you can. You will be a target like yesterday.
And the way that they attack you is one of the most devious things that I've seen, because having an actual argument or a counterpoint, right? Like Mickey and I, what, last three shows, last hour of the show, gone back and forth in a mostly respectful way, arguing point and counterpoint. Whereas these companies and these larger groups, they'll just hit you in the wallet. They don't give a fuck. They will try to shut down the way that many people make their living. Fat Electrician, one of my favorite historians, war historians, he's been demonetized several times because he told very unsavory truths. I mean, it's fact. It's written in history book. You can't change a history book. Well, they're going to try, and they're going to try to shut people up that tell it the way that it is.
Yep. So you have to be. You know what I'm saying. That's why a lot of them be so. Why they be like they like we appreciate people subscribing, even being paid members, because it also help. And this is how you can keep things going.
Yeah, another thing
You know,
is they'll demonetize a video kind of as a warning,
yeah, we've
and
had plenty of them.
I'll have to go back and edit it out, or play around one way or another and get it back. But you know, the memberships help, the super chats help, super stickers help. But if you want to, you know, stop giving YouTube money for silencing people, because that's basically how what's going on, then Cash App, and as Concrete Jungle put it here, 810 News Media Group, or cash or $ 810 News Media Group on Cash App.
Mhm. Because it's just it's just basically what it's coming down to right now. They not certain things they want out, certain things they don't want out. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that we like at this stage of it. That's what I don't like about it when we saying certain things. Because what it is, let me see. See the lovely Michelle Merritt, Donnell Meredith. Thank you for tapping in, Constance. Thank you for tapping in, the lovely Tasha Lynn. Thank you for tapping in. Thank all the queens who done tapped in, especially Michelle Merritt. Let me see what you said, beloved. She said, I went to the Gleewood meeting. This woman put a slide up with increases since 2017. Basically, they increased the water rate 24% in increments over 10 years. Mm, mm. But as we finding out, our council could have did something. So like, so what do we? I mean, who do we put the blame with? Is the question I'm asking. Like, if it ain't, it's not Gleewood. How do we go at our politicians for getting us in this mess that we
I
in?
mean, God, dude, that's a good one. So, like, Gliwa is responsible for water rate hikes and increases because they're the ones that control the water and control the bill. But why has Mayor Sheldon Neely not tried to appoint, get someone from Flint on the Gliwa board to represent Flint? So many other counties, at very least, have someone on there. Why has the Genesee County Commissioners nor Sheriff Swanson tried to get someone from Genesee County on there? And then as it comes to your particular water tax in the city of Flint, you're going to have to start looking at the people who keep on voting to raise your water tax, your water bill that you receive every month. Because they don't just increase it by the percent that Gliwa does, they also add a back end onto it. And that goes back as far back as it goes back.
So if they've been so basically what you saying that's how the city been surviving off the water
For
bill.
a while, like property taxes is one thing, but the state's about to take that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna take over it.
Going to take over it, which means they're going to keep their cut. So either your property taxes are going to go up so the city keeps the same, or because I assume they're going to do it much the same way as the marijuana sales tax. which is where the state charges the sales tax, collects all the funds,
Uh-huh.
breaks it up amongst the counties. On they keep. We're just going to use imaginary numbers here, but
Right.
state keeps 50%, then takes the other 50% and divides it up between the counties. Then each county holds 50% of what they got, and then divides the rest up between the cities near equally. So if the state starts doing that with your property taxes, how's City of Flint going to survive? Well, the only tax that they have left that they have control over, aside from the measly 1% of your income tax, depending if you live there or just work there, and that would be your water bill or your water tax. Just take a look at your water bills and tell me how much of that is actually price per gallon that you actually use. Look at the Gleewa price and then look at your home price. There's quite a bit of difference. I think last I checked, it was what, 40% difference.
Michelle Smith, aka Ann, thank you and your husband for tapping in. I'm with you, Dreamer. The Dreamer said it's time for the Flint residents to start recalling some of. Well, to be honest with you, it's voting season, so you got to vote them out now.
Yeah. So regardless, right now, everyone that is running for office, or wards 1 through 9 plus mayor,
Yep.
are recall proof right now.
Yep.
They are within the last year of their term. Windows closed. So whoever you vote for, you're going to have them for at very least a year, because the recall window opens up a year after they're in to a year before their term ends. So, however you vote, you have to make sure that it is solid. Otherwise, they could just turn around and you have to deal with it for a year, bite the pillow.
Yeah, because if you vote them in, you can't recall them to next year. It'll be 27, right, of November.
No, from the day that they're sworn in, which I believe is in January of 27, when they'll get sworn in from this election cycle. So you'd have to wait until
So they don't come
January of
in
28.
November.
No, that's just when the voting is done. But they take office and get sworn in January. So you'd have to wait until January of 2028 to put in a recall.
Yeah, so why even bite that bullet now? Wait to deal with that bullet then when you can deal with it now.
Don't take a chance on a maybe. You should be damn well 100% sure that this person is for you. They may not be for you, but at least their interests are aligned with you.
They got it.
The issues.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Dream. Say the resident. Let me put this up here for the family to see. The residents have to make sure not to reelect the sellout and mayor's facts. Now that I can agree with.
100%.
But the thing is,
there's already replacements for the ones buying them in the wings.
Right. Anyway, you just gotta hope the ones you put in gonna do some. Good morning, new one. Thank you for tapping in. And I will be at this next Flint Neighborhood United meeting.
Oh, man.
Know it's the first Saturday, so that means it's this Saturday coming up. See you there. Is it the first Saturday?
No. Tomorrow is the 28th, brother.
Yeah.
So next weekend.
Yeah, next weekend. Y'all, hey, Flint Neighborhood United. I'm on my way back.
Now, do they handle grants there?
I don't know, but I know there'd be a lot of people with nonprofits be there.
Hey, the Flint Neighborhood United 810 could use a small grant of $5,000.
Yeah, they more than that. We want big money like them companies become. I want to be the next
other companies.
I'll be their new one. Good morning, Chris Moultrie. Thank you for tapping in.
They're either tied in really well, which we of course are not. Everyone hates us. Or they build up a reputation of being financially stable and growing. So we'll start with the small loan and build our way up. So, small grant, $5,000 to start.
No, I want to go all the way. Why wait? No, I've been waiting long enough. All the years that
you've been waiting long enough, but with the wrong people, or in your case, no people.
Yeah, but no, I got to get it. Why? And they already see what's being built.
We don't have a fiduciary either, which
I've been
through. Interesting.
I've been through the fire. I know that's going to be another one.
Yeah.
One of these good businesses who love to rob the man should be able to come through and help. What's up, KD in the building? Y'all heard KD say, hit that like button on y'all way in. It's
Okay.
68 of y'all. It's
Chris
56 of
popped
y'all
on.
on the TV side, and the other 12 of y'all is on the phone side. But hit
Oh,
that.
there's
What's up,
Felicia.
Felicia? The lovely Felicia Martinez coming in from New Jersey. You heard? By way of that East Coast. I mean, like I said, I just find it hard to believe how these people can go back in and elect some of the same people. Is what I'm trying to tell you. I'm not gonna lie. I don't see how. I'm just being honest in my humble opinion. I don't see how the first ward. Well, he's running for third ward. I don't even know how he can even be. I'm gonna go with the current first ward. I don't know even how he can be even electable. I'm just being honest.
Represents the first ward, running for the third ward, lives in the sixth ward or out of town. Go figure.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm finna get right to that concept. Then the second ward, like I don't know how Liddell can even be considered. Third ward, LaShawn, allegedly they had to cheat and write her in. That's why I said allegedly. You know, she had to do it. Fourth ward, I don't see what she has done completely, did nothing. And then went in, but it ain't no more money, but went in for extra money for being the finance chair. I see JWC, she's not running, but I don't like, you know what I'm saying? Whether how we like it or not. And I'm going for the whole loaf.
I think
Sixth ward, you know what I'm saying? Like, who you gonna put in there? Seventh ward, you got Candace. What have she done? She just as fickle minded as your mayor is. I mean, to me, it's just like how they really think the residents of Flint are really fools, in my humble opinion.
I feel personally the residents of Flint have got Stockholm syndrome.
Oh, they most definitely do. Eighth ward,
Just used to
and
their
it's not
abuser.
running. Ninth
Why take a
ward,
chance on a new abuser? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ninth ward. Is there someone running finally?
they got a couple people. I'm just saying, I don't know. Sweetheart Shell, thank you for tapping in. I don't, like I say, I don't even care no more, to be honest with you, because it's still the same people who run the show. Is they gonna stop giving money to whoever become the new mayor, whoever become the new council person? You think they gonna ever stop giving the money to the business that's been getting the money?
Fat chance in hell.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. They ain't gonna stop doing what they doing. So we just and what time? Well, it's a question. What time is Bill Clinton testifying? I don't know. To be honest with you, listen. I'm
Let me
trying.
peek that.
New one said we have PTSD and do political trauma syndrome. Election. Yeah, the elections have
Political trauma stress
consequences.
disorder.
Yeah, we have elections do have consequences, but for who? It just seemed like it has it for it don't. It's not. It don't have problems for the people at the top. It just have problems for the ones at the bottom. And to me, and that's where the problem coming in. That like, I don't think we be looking at. Just look here with the voter suppression. Yeah, we have voter suppression going on Little Flint allegedly. The Gleewood vote is just another example of what we have been going through for decades.
You're not going to be able to see Clinton's testimony. It's closed doors.
It's closed doors.
Yeah. And it's
What
in
is you
front of the
gonna
House
get?
Oversight Committee.
But what do you get when it go behind closed doors once again? You
Jack
think
shit.
that's the whole fact. And I guess they said you think that people really think Hillary was gonna get in there and tell on the system. That mean it might have included her in there. Like I was looking when they said her testimony yesterday, it didn't help Trump. But I'm like, well, you think she did it? It didn't hurt him. So like, I mean, like, what is they looking for? Even the same thing with Monica Lewinsky. But I do see that didn't what's his name just get what was his name just got fired? He just got resigned from Yale. Was it Yale or was it Larry's? Was it Larry's? He was one of the financial guys. Damn, was it at Harvard or Yale? I can't think. Larry Summers. I think it's Larry Summers. He just got called in.
Elliott University president and president, some fucking Latin name of Harvard.
Yeah, okay, it was Harvard then. Larry Summers, right? When he
Yep. And then is it the world something? I'm gonna have to go to Ground News to take a look at
yeah,
this.
Lawrence Summers, yeah. I was just looking at it because they didn't told him Harvard, I believe. Yeah,
Ah,
you right, Concrete.
CEO of World Economic Forum quits after Epstein ties scrutinized. The World Economic Forum,
Hmm.
like I don't happen to like those folks much at all. A bunch of champagne socialists, a bunch of millionaires and billionaires, and people with trust funds, and telling the world that they have to share or you know divide up their wealth, but they get to hold on to all theirs. These are people that live in mansions that tell you you should live in a brutalist apartment.
But when Larry he was in the Obama administration, if I'm not mistaken, Larry Summers.
No, let's take a peek.
Yeah, I think he was in the Obama or Clinton administration.
Roll. Larry Summers served as director of the National Economic Council for President Barack Obama from 2009 to 2010,
Mm-hmm.
acting as a chief economic advisor during the Great Recession. He was instrumental in designing the
Clinton.
seven.
What was he for Clinton? He was in the
Um,
Clinton administration too,
no,
I think.
I mean, God, they're political whores. They get passed around a lot. It wouldn't surprise me if he worked for Clinton, then Obama, then in some way Biden.
No, but see, yeah, these are people that's running the money thing though. That's just like I'm looking at Hillary still hasn't told us how she turned 1,000 into 100,000 back in the '90s. She was a law student intern during the Watergate. She knows how to handle questioning. In fact, she could listen, man. Hillary, she don't come from a poor family.
Mm-mm.
The Rodhams. I see what you're saying, Constance. They are looking to deflect so we don't focus on Trump and the rich, nasty man. Listen, we not gonna never. They listen. Much as we gonna want to get this business out, it's and they love what they call it, the yacht club that they in. Do you think they really finna let you know, like if you expose one, somebody gonna get mad and want to expose the other one because they gonna be like, you gonna try to put me out there, well, we gonna put it all out there.
Larry Summers' chat was correct. He was also part of Bill Clinton's cabinet as the Treasury Secretary.
Yeah, I remember him because I remember one of them. They was trying. One of they was finna put over was having problems getting nominated, but he eventually got pushed through. I can't remember. I think that was up on Obama. I want to say to Marty, thank you for tapping in. Let me see Summers. Let me see Trump and his children have made billions in 1 year. I mean, they letting them do it. I mean, they letting Trump really get away with it. But I'm just looking at it like I say, I'm still tripping off the Mike Huckabee and Tucker Carlson interview. He didn't pissed off so many conservatives. The Clintons are probably rich and nasty via Hillary. Okay, Democrat are those Epstein files.
I'm not going to talk about the Clintons' politics because I happen to be a bit of a Bill Clinton fan. Mind you, that's probably rose tinted glasses when I was younger, right? I was a kid and things weren't absolutely terrible. But I will say, on the back end, a lot of bodies drop around the Clintons, and that's pretty fucking suspicious.
I mean, if you go look at and listen, down there, everyone that we listen, man, it's so many people that to me, when you look at some of this stuff, that's why I say go back right now. Mike Huckabee got got a lot of people in America pissed off right now. He got a lot of people in America pissed off right now.
None of the groups that I run around with have talked about it, but I can say that a lot of my friends that I game with have heard about it, and they're like, "Who the fuck is Mike Huckabee, and why is he talking like this?" Mind you, the people I talk with are usually international. I've got a Dutchman, a Brit, like I was telling you, a Spaniard, and they're like, "Fuck that dude." oh, okay, you know.
Mm.
My European friends aren't really too big on some of
Mm.
the things over
Well,
here.
Miss Tia said Clinton was the best years of life. It depends on who you ask, though, Miss Tia. I mean, it gotta goes back to you. You gotta ask. You gotta remember that '95 crime bill came out. I mean, it depends. Like I say, once again, when we looking at it, you just can't. You have to look at it from. It all depends on. Like I say, each individual got their own. Everybody can say what they like. You know, you got some say it was best year. I don't know how many people. Well, maybe these last maybe 3 or 4 presidents that they can say it ain't the best years. I mean, really, but you can go look that you can damn near criticize every president, and you got people on everyone that can say this one he was good. I'm just, I mean, look, like I say, it depends on how you look at it. Let me see. If you was part of, let me see this. If you was part of the Clinton's protective detail when he was governor of Arkansas, and you're still alive, you are lucky.
Mm.
Wow.
Like I said, I was knee high to a chair when Clinton was in office. He, you know, I was out running around in apartments, living with mom and dad back in Texas. I just remember things seemed a lot less complicated back then. And then I didn't like his replacement. I didn't like Bill, and then I didn't like Obama, and then kind of like Trump, didn't like Biden. Like I think the older I get, the more disenfranchised I am from just about everything.
Yeah, facts. Then Bill Clinton, I think he did
The
NAFTA.
North America Free
Yeah.
Trade Agreement with
Yeah.
Canada and Mexico allowing labor to come across and zero
Yeah.
tariffs.
Yeah. I mean, and I knew when I was gonna put, but it all depends on how you look at it through the lens. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how you want to look at it. A lot of people came through them '90s, don't look at it like it was the best times.
I mean, so NAFTA took years to cause pain, right? Things don't just flip overnight. So a lot of folks, when they remember the '90s, they don't remember a lot of the job issues. They don't remember a lot of that because at the time there weren't as many job issues. NAFTA took years to come into effect and started causing pain then.
Oh, no, Michelle, no, I knew who Mike Huckabee was. Yeah, he's the ambassador to Israel right now. I
Yeah,
said
no,
Mike
my
Huckabee is Sarah's daddy. He's the current envoy. Yeah, he's the ambassador to Israel.
yeah,
But
my European friends didn't know who the hell he was.
facts knew when Flint was a manufacturing city. Look at us now. People in a lot of pain now with this administration. I mean, but family, listen. This what we going through. But this is the thing. See, this is where it get tricky to me. This where it get tricky. I'm saying what you saying, KD. KD saying, listen, the streets was eating good when Reagan was president, but history tell us him and Nancy was worse. What's up, Lena? Thank you for tapping in. And shout out to Jed and his Iron 18. Right. You can't tell how you can't tell how successful a president really is until years later. Facts. But really, to really see what a president did, he need 2 terms. Because really, your first term, you really trying to get through with the president before you did. Because the stuff that he did is still going into effect.
I
So
mean,
really, you don't get until you get your second term that you get to
we
implement.
haven't had a president of the same party. So, like, one president leave and then his replacement is of the same party. We haven't had that in quite a long while. I think since Reagan Bush, actually. So, like, if that were to happen again, Democrat, Republican, I think you could tell based off the first term of that second president because they're going to be building off of what the previous president did. Whereas when you're going, flopping like a pancake between presidents and parties, they're trying to undo everything the last one did. It's like,
Yeah.
can we just leave it in a neutral state for once, please?
But that ain't how they. Hey, Dreamer, I was just getting ready. I was finna tell you that. They said Reagan was the start of America's downfall 40 plus years ago. He wasn't a good actor or president. I'm gonna say this. I think where we got it confused, and that's what I want to show. Landon, what it do? We looking at the drug time doing that was going on, Landon, and I agree we were eating good, but it was via street money. It wasn't because of policy to make legally better. Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. We saw a lot of drugs pop in under the Reagan era during his presidency. That was an influx of drugs, and that was really you saw a lot of crime influx of crime when you brought cocaine in. No, you can, KD. I didn't listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't mind critiquing him. You know, certain things he did do that I feel like. But see, this is where I get confused that when we get in the office, we have to do something for everybody. We can't make it just for us. And I'll break it down to you. When we do stuff, we have to do it and it's just I'm being honest. I don't, take. I mean, you can take them if you think I'm lying. I just hey, it's on you. Take it or leave it. When you hear them, even with our presidential people that's running, when you heard Kamala and I think Obama, they might have said the same verbatim, but it was said, "Well, we got to do stuff we just can't do. We just can't do nothing for blacks." That's what I hate when I hear them say that. But then you will hear them come up with something for Asians. You will hear them come up for LGBT community. You will hear them come. We're here so many different.
With that one, you can get shot the fuck down pretty quick with that last group.
No, I just said I'm telling you.
I know.
Yeah, I didn't say it.
It's more going on to our previous point of you can be demonetized for not pushing a point or counter pushing a point.
But really,
I'm not one of those points.
Yeah, but I'm not knocking them for them getting the help. I'm just saying this is the different things that you would get did. You can get a LGBT community bill. That ain't knocking them. That's just being honest. You can get a Asian hate crime bill. You can get this. You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about, what happened to HR 40? What happened to the George Floyd bill? See, we can't get none of them bills passed. But you will hear it got to be all together. Even when I was hearing the one where Brother Roberts was on, when he was telling me, when he was like, Mickey, when we writing grants and stuff, he said it can't be just for it can't just be say for black kids. It got to be for all kids. But then when other people writing grants and specifically for them, it's no issue. That's what I'm saying. Where we be running, I mean, the type of situation that I feel like we be running into when it come to we trying to do something. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it, but it's still remnants of certain things. When we trying to do something, it's always like it's a bump in the road, and that's what I don't like. That's what I don't like. You know what I'm saying? Even with this DEI situation, when I'm hearing when Trump, like he said it on the what's the name, he was like he ended. I wasn't mad at it. It wasn't a bad thing. Listen, if we're gonna judge on merit, on what a person, let's go ahead. I'm not tripping on it. I'm not really tripping on it. Because at the end of the day, we only gonna be able to do what we're allowed to do. And that's that's really what I'm breaking. We only gonna be able to do what we're allowed to do. You bump the system just like this. With me just making an example, you can be demonetized. Not that I was saying that, because I done seen people say some of the foulest things. And I'll be like, wow, I just told y'all, and y'all might think I'm playing. I can see porn on Facebook.
Yep. Or X. And remember, X recently, with their fucking AI, people were training it to make child porn.
Yeah.
You could have been scrolling X and that could have popped up on your screen, depending if someone shared it, or because X doesn't just show you friends, it pops up random people who are picking up a lot of traction on your feed. You could have just been exposed to that just being on the fucking platform. They could show that and X got in trouble, but did anyone get blocked or banned or demonetized?
Listen, I'd have been my Facebook when y'all
you lived in Facebook jail.
I stayed in it, just not off of 810, but off my I did for some of the council stuff I did, but then they started what I be putting on my own page. They started blocking me on certain stuff, but I'm like, damn, I see porn coming through. You know what I'm saying? People being shot. They're like, all that'll be on Facebook.
Dude,
I had no problem.
I got tired of getting put in Facebook jail. I got tired of people going through my Facebook and, you know, calling family members or whatever, horrible person, da da da. So I stopped posting on there, right? I got a hold
Yeah.
of one of my former NCOs yesterday because it looked like he was going through a hard time.
Mhm.
I went through Facebook Messenger. I'm like, hey, you good, boss? Like, you need someone to talk to? He's like, dude, I thought you were dead. I haven't seen nothing from you in years. There's a reason for it.
Yeah, you
Like,
will.
because you can go through all these terrible, you know, things, all these terrible posts on Facebook, and no one's getting in trouble for it. But the second you share a dissenting opinion, the
I'm,
second that you don't fall in line with these, and you know, I know we have some Californians here, but many of you aren't the type I'm talking about. But these California blue hairs, and you don't fall into their realm of morality, you can become harassed, demonetized. Hell, if you have a day job, they can try to get you fired from that. Like, I'm sick of the internet culture, to be fucking honest with you.
no, you do, but that man owns the largest B site, the richest non-American in America. Bumpers hit that. Yeah, hit that like button. Let me see. No, I get what you're saying, Lena, but this is the stuff that they listen. They right now, they don't want this being talked about possibly America going to war over in Iran. I've been watching. You know what they've been? All the rhetoric been the same. They were showing. They were showing BB Benjamin Netanyahu, the Israel Prime Minister, when he said if we get rid of Saddam Hussein. This when they was making their thing to Congress. If we do this, it'll be what was the Muslim upright, the Muslim Spring or something. They said it'd be better. Do you know how destabilized that has been?
Wasn't the Arab Spring in the 20 teens?
That's when they went in Iraq.
No,
Well,
we went to
okay,
Iraq in 2003. 20 teens is after 2010.
I might be off, but they were showing the video. I will put it up where they were showing Benjamin Netanyahu when they were saying it's the same rhetoric, and then what happened? Said it was gonna be no boots on the ground,
No. The
and
only thing I can say right now is I'm following troop movements.
mm-hmm,
Right? It's OSINT, open source intelligence. You can
mm-hmm.
find it very easily. I've not seen any Marine or Army units being moved to the Middle East except for one National Guard unit. Now, Navy is a completely different fucking story. Like we covered just yesterday, there's 2 aircraft carriers
Yeah,
over
sent
on
two over
yonder,
there.
and their entire battle group. But with it is no Marine expeditionary landing craft, amphibious assault craft, nor are there any Army personnel being stationed on the borders. So if something does kick off, it looks like it's just going to be an air thing, air raids instead of troops, because the way the United States likes to fight wars is we will put troops on your border and keep them there until it's time to go. Like trying to move, say, an entire division of 40,000 dudes, 40,000 fighters from the United States to anywhere overseas can take as long as 2 or 3 months because you have to pack up everything. Right?
Yeah,
It's a longer process. So if we strike Iran, it's more than likely just going to be with aircraft and long range missiles.
Yvette Bailey, thank you for tapping in, beloved. I mean, I just think what that do. I get it's called, but what it looks like, I'm just saying from different people bringing them warships in because he said he wasn't gonna do it. But with
No.
Israel saying that they might have to go do it, but what they banking on, I'm just telling. It seemed like this happened back in what was it, the Lusitania that got sank. It seemed like
Yes, World War One.
why would we bring 2 of our warships up and like you say we might fire some? Just say one of them warships get hit. What are we going to?
I mean, that's a several $billion investment. Last people that touched one of our ships, Vietnam had a very bad series of days.
Hey, Sprag, good morning. But that's the point that I'm saying. It seemed like we're trying to be tempted to go to war.
Derek, I did say there are ships there. What I'm saying is, as for soldiers and boots, you don't have none of them there yet. I'm not ruling it out as a possibility.
No,
I'm
I'm
just
just
keeping you appraised as to what I've been watching on, because
yeah, no,
I've got several kids that I raised in the Army, brand new privates that are now sergeants first class or first sergeant. I want to make sure that they don't eat a bullet. I want to know what's going on with them.
that's the point I was trying to get to. Is it that how they started the first Iraqi war?
What, just lining up troops along the borders? Yes.
That's the
We had God, the first armored, second armored, the first infantry all along the border of Kuwait and Iraq and Saudi Arabia.
I'm just looking at that. It said Huckabee just sent a memo to re-evacuate Israel today. And I'm looking at the EU is against the U.S. now. The supply line would be completely stopped if the EU denied the U.S. airspace. Wow. New one. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Let me
EU
see
does
this.
have some pretty decent air defenses.
All things are predetermined. Big corporations use the United States military for their interests and causes. Young American soldiers are fighting greed wars. Uh-oh. And you may be right. It said Trump is a kind man deflecting the Israel and Iran war talk. I think is on. I mean, I just feel like what I did see. I was watching the videos breaking it down. They banking on what happened before hot because Trump don't want to just go over there and do it, but Israel want to do it. But if you go listen, a lot of people is beating the war drums about going over there to different podcasts. That's what I was saying. It was breaking it down, but it was like some of his own. Some of the generals is like, hey, this is not going to be that easy because what they say, Iran is twice the size or 3 times the size of Iraq, right? If I'm not mistaken.
In terms of landmass, something like that.
It's like it's bigger. It's not. Yeah, they said it's big, and basically, you know what I'm saying. I'm like, if we already posted, because the thing is, what they saying is now they saying they 2 days or what a week, 12 days away from having nuclear. Then we just went and shot some down, but then on their side they saying they not doing it. See, we getting our information.
What I was looking at, it wasn't nukes recently. It was rebuilding their missile program without the nukes, long range intercontinental ballistics, which just goes up, comes down, ballistic. Nothing super fancy about that.
Donna Romero said, yep, Neely is live with Candace, Judy, and LaShawn. Wow. Well, Adele, you at no more press conferences. So that should tell you all you need to know where she's standing at right now. Is that downright diabolical?
I mean, we told you that would happen. After she put those few shots across Neely's bow as a warning, we all knew Neely's vindictive. He's like, all right, you're fucking toast. I'm going to replace you. Hi, LaShawn.
And I want he just committed to give UFC wrestling $60 million for what? Who gave UFC $60 million?
That'd probably be Trump.
Wow.
Yeah, Dana White endorsed him. I think he's using it for advertising for something.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
It could be military recruitment, but I mean, military recruitment's up across the board right now.
RJ Cass said it couldn't happen to a better person. I just feel like this right here that we've been in Iraq. We 35 with 37 trillion in debt. Mm-hmm. How many more wars we think we're gonna go ahead and listen. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to get off in it. What do Iran have the American big corporations want? I'm thinking oil.
Not just oil. I mean, oil, yeah. The way that, hear me out, right?
I'm listening.
The way that the U.S., how do I say this? When the U.S. took over Iraq, or even when it, quote, liberated Kuwait, and shares of that were being moved around, it went to the open market on bottom dollar. It didn't go straight to U.S. stockpiles. U.S. still had to buy it from interim government, whatever, but at bottom dollar, right? So it wouldn't be like invade Iran, pump the oil, and then ship it straight back to the United States. It would go to the open market, but cheapest possible price, and the U.S. gets first bid, just as an air of legitimacy. I'm not saying it's legitimate. I'm saying it because you have to play by certain rules to make it seem like you're playing fair, right? But the other thing is, if you go into Iran If you look at the map, and on the northeast side, there's some mountainous terrain, which is very rich with rare earths and certain minerals, some things such as gems and such. But the rare earths are more important for technology. I mean, your smartphone uses fucking rare earths. Anyone buying a smart car, you need rare earths such as lithium and the like. That's the bigger deal in today's technology than the oil.
Mm.
Like oil is one thing, yeah, everything runs on it. Hell, even your clean energy runs off of oil. What do you think lubricates those giant wind turbines? Oil. What do you think makes the plastics for those solar panels? Oil. What do you think is in your cell phone? Plastics for oil, right? But a lot of the stuff recently, since we can make um, synthetic oils and synthetic plastics, a lot of countries around the world, Russia, United States, I mean, hell, the big thing about Greenland was less oil and more rare earths. The big thing about a peace treaty that the United States is trying to negotiate with Ukraine and Russia is Ukraine would give us free mining rights to their rare earths. A lot of things down in Africa where countries such as China, the United States, Russia, name any big country wants to get in there and ingratiate themselves with the countries of Africa is rare earths and the mining rights.
Uh, I mean, we can do business like normal humans do business, negotiate price, negotiate terms, but no, we can't keep being the big bully. And that's basically what it is, though. I mean, what United States, regardless of how you look at it, what the United States is doing, you're gonna open up for other countries to go. That's just like China might just want to come in and get Taiwan. You can't when you doing this, regardless how we look at it. When you going in, you letting other because United States ain't the only superpower. You going China might want to come in and do. If you want to say so, well then tell China put up their nuclear weapons. I'm just saying.
No. So there's actual definitions to it. China is definitely a strong regional power, but to be a superpower, you not only have to have military might that can project around the world to be a global power at that point. But your culture also has to be pervasive, and your economy also has to be pervasive. China is a very strong regional power, to be sure, but they don't have the global reach of a superpower. Like that, it's just the technical terms of it. Russia used to be a superpower. Their culture fucking pervaded everywhere. They had a very strong economy, well, communist economy, but it was still going worldwide. And their military was able to project all the way down into Antarctica if they damn well pleased before the Soviet Union fell apart.
But that's why I say what's going on, you gonna mess around. We keep trying to think we can go around and bully. Remember, every bully had a day. It's just every bully, every nation.
Every empire has its day.
Yeah, facts.
Day to fall, day to rise. I mean,
Yeah, but you
I'm
see how
not
they fall, right?
usually inward
Yeah, from what though?
infighting.
Right, and what you got going on right now?
The starts of infighting.
Okay, well, that's the point I'm trying to make. How long you think it's gonna keep going? Like I said, whether we want to accept it or not, when Trump got up there, and I get it, when he did it, and you really showed, okay, one Democrat jumped up, was stood up, Fetterman, when he was talking about the fires, immigrant, immigrants, when you go ahead.
Well, let's get the quote right before someone says that we aren't quoting things right. Let me pull up my gallery because I hate when people go back. They didn't quote it exactly right, and fuck you. To quote, if you agree with the statement, then stand up and show your support. The first duty of the American government is to protect American citizens, not illegal aliens. That's not to detract from your point. That's just to make sure people aren't going to bitch about how
No,
we said it.
but do you see how it was divisive amongst people in there?
I don't understand how that point itself could be divisive. Many other things he said, fine, draw your line in the sand. But a line in the sand over illegal immigrants, it would your first in my opinion, would your first priority not be the people that elected you, that there's a sovereign trust in you to support and defend and protect as a member of Congress, as a city council member, as president, what have you? Should those people who were born here and who have legally naturalized here not be your first concern
But then when
over
you
all
look,
things?
but then when you look at the president, his wife, right? Is she an American?
Naturalized.
I mean, when did she become naturalized? Because she from Ukraine, right?
No, she's from Moldova.
His latest wife.
Yeah,
She from where?
Moldova. It's a very
Oh,
small Eastern European country, I believe.
oh, Eastern European country.
Well,
And when did she
then
become naturalized?
Melania become
And when did she become naturalized?
naturalized citizen 2006.
So
What?
when did she come here?
1996.
1996. Okay.
She spent 10 years here to get her citizenship. Legal the entire time, entire way. And, you know, as conservative voter, once again, I don't mind immigration. I like immigration. I just like when it's done right. There's a process. And don't get me wrong, process can be a lot cleaner and a lot faster, streamlined as hell. That's not the reality today, unfortunately. But just because it's not the reality doesn't mean that you get to make up your own rules.
No, but I'm just saying. But when you see that, it's kind of being hard because there was some people they was grabbing that is Americans. That's what I'm just saying. It make it kind of hard to, you know what I'm saying. But it just with her, it ain't no problem.
I mean,
And
she is kind of well known.
But what I'm saying, it ain't no problem because if she walked down the street, you know, what she gonna look like a white person. Let's just be honest. If we're gonna keep it real, she ain't gonna be worrying about being grabbed. But now let's go with a Latino or a Hispanic. They could been born here. And you know who they gonna go look at first is not a citizen, and who they gonna look at as I'm just being if we're gonna, I'm just trying to be honest. That's how and this is where the conflict coming in that they're not seeing other people like they can. Don't get me wrong. Some Hispanics and Latinos that's here are some are born here, but they looking at they getting grabbed just as well as the ones who may be undocumented. But people looking at it. Why you not doing this for all people? We just looking at the ones with of color who they feel like getting grabbed. That's the problem. And that's why we even the thing with the Afrikaners that they brought in, the 50 families that he just brought in. At the end of the day, people gonna look at that like, okay, regardless how we want to act like it, but you're not seeing them being, ICE being sick on them. That's not what the media is showing you. If it is going on, the media not showing you that. It's like we can accept if they white, but we can't accept if they, what I'm saying, of Hispanic descent. And I'm not speaking up trying to, because listen, we already had our struggles here, but that's what the people is looking at like, damn, how is this going down? And
My
that's
next question is, no, I kind of want to make it as a point. The largest group that have come here illegally happen to be people from our southern border all the way down to the tip of Chile, right? Just the largest group in terms of numbers. That now, while it probably very wrong to just look at someone and say, I'm going to check them out, it does fall into the, okay, better chance than, say, this African-American looking dude of being illegal. Better chance than, say, this Asian looking dude of being illegal. Once again, I don't say it's right. I'm just giving you the mindset.
Yeah. No, but I mean that's what the people are saying though. They not. That's what you be hearing some of the. And don't get me wrong, I'm not speaking up for the Latinos. I'm not saying that because they're not a friend to my community. Let's be honest. You might have some who might like us, but the majority don't. So don't take it like I'm just saying what it looked like. Like I told you when I heard Ana Navarro. And I seen what you said. J.D. Vance was a Democrat until 4 years ago. Hey, they flip angles all the time. It said those South Americans come here because America has caused disruptions in their country. And a lot of time that do happen when you have, see, we don't be honest. Sometimes dictators do get, if you go over into these countries and do destabilizing, what you think gonna happen? Hey, Mark, a lot of them did vote for Trump, and I'm not mad at him because of what he did, what he done. Believe me, I'm not mad with Trump putting them out. Go ahead.
I have to fix myself real quick. She wasn't born in, well, might have been born in
Moldova.
Yeah, Moldavia, but which might be a city, but the country itself is Slovenia.
Yeah,
which is like Yugoslavia area.
Yeah, they was putting in the chaps of Slovenia. These Mexicans voted for Trump too. Later they did. I'm not mad at them that they did this for themselves. In my humble opinion, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. Listen, because look, we didn't got handled. But the problem is, they won't listen. I do get, like, I understand what you're saying, Trevor. When you're saying if you're gonna come, you got to do it the right way. I'm not mad at do it the right way because other countries,
opinion.
Don't you have to do it the right way?
Yes.
I'm not. Yes. I'm not mad at it. I just say do it across the board. Would make the president look bad because when you bringing in these 50 families from over here, people gonna go to look and they're gonna be like, oh, now you get to America because when you do got to pick a choice, are you black or are you white? And that's what I'm saying. I told y'all, listen, family, when I was at Corona Road in the grocery store, I swore up and down these two was brothers. Hear me out what I'm saying. I thought they was brothers. When they went to speaking, they were speaking, what is it? I want to say that it wasn't Latin. What would they be speaking?
Where do you think they're from?
Spanish? Dude, they was dark. They was about my complexion or a little darker. I thought
Caribbean could be
they could have been Cubans. They could have
been Cubanos, could have been Haitian.
Yeah. But what would the language be?
God. So Cuban is Spanish. Haitian speaks a mix of Spanish and I believe
I say we'll go with Spanish. We'll just go with Spanish speaking. I'm telling you, when I was up in there and I looked and I was listening, I was like, damn. I listen, I couldn't tell. That's why I understood. That's why when they were saying how they was grabbing people up in Chicago, I had to go on a guy from Chicago page. You got it in the clip. When he was saying when ICE was coming, when they was detaining, because it was a young lady. You may be right, Lanny. It was probably from Venezuela, Panama, Brazil. Was speaking.
Brazilians can get very, very dark in complexion.
I'm talking. We could have passed for cousins, is what I'm trying to tell you.
I've told you about Cabrera in my platoon. The guy was born in the Dominican Republic, serving in the U.S. Army to get his citizenship. Yeah. Everyone confused him as African American. No, Cabrera was full-blooded Hispanic.
Yeah, you can tell us from Brazil. They look just like us because of mixed blood over 100 years. Lane, I'm telling you, I thought so. I understood it. When I went on the guy from Chicago, when he was talking about it, he said, look, family, he was like, I thought I played it. He said, he was like, there was Black Honduras. He said they did take over some apartments in Chicago. He said when they went in, they did detain the black lady, which I'm not saying it was right. You can tell she was mad, but she had her ID. She showed her stuff. They could have did it a little better, but I understood.
That is something. ICE agents could have a far better demeanor.
Yeah.
And let's get it straight. Like, they can have a far better demeanor, and some of them, regardless of anything, will lose their temper with some fucking overweight, fat, white chick with purple hair screaming in their face. Yeah. Like, control yourself, though. You're supposed to be a federal agent, whether you had fucking 6 weeks of training or fucking 9 weeks.
Yeah.
Fucking comport yourself as a fucking professional and stop losing your temper.
And that's the only thing, like, because she had her kids with her, but when you were seeing it, when they did have to go grab, and then they did grab, like I said, one of the guys that got caught up in the sweep with him. But after when it was like a day or so, when they finally processed him, but I get it. But he had his ID, but the ICE agent could have been a little better. But when you get caught up in the sweep, they was just thinking like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what they use. And I'm not saying some of them should know who they was. You know what I'm saying? Some knew who they were. I'm just saying some some ICE agents was just being a dick that, was being a dick. But when they
Like I
was
said, they
grabbing
need to
some of them
comport
people,
themselves as professionals.
yeah, some of them people, I'm being honest, some of the people they was grabbing, but I do blame that, you know what I'm saying? Like with Biden, what he did do Biden. And I do understand that America is made up of immigrants. I get everything y'all saying. But to me, it seems like certain presidents pick and choose when they want people to come in. And then you leave other administrations, new Congress, you know what I'm saying, they got to deal with this. And not every time we gonna elect some people who gonna be nice.
As a government, right? You do want immigration, but you have to control it. Okay, so I'd say back in the 1950s, not a happy time for most people, but 1950s, they had a limit, right? They would set a limit each year as to how many people could come in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And you were looking for skilled workers or people with degrees or X, Y, and Z. And they'd be like, all right, 20,000 immigrants this year. Okay. 50,000 next year. Okay. Hey, we're a little over full. 0 immigrants this year. 0 immigration.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like, that's how it used to be. And then they lost the plot somewhere along the way and just said, fuck it. We're just going to do whatever now.
I'm looking at Lee. I was talking about ICE that hit in Chicago when I was watching the video. That's when you seeing some of the people of Chicago.
Here's some shit I have seen though about ICE and Flint, and it actually threw me through a loop. I was going through Reddit as I sometimes do because I'm bored and I'm a no life internet fucking whatever, and they were calling up salute reports on ICE. I'm like, wait, that's military terminology, and I look it up and they break it down, size, what they're doing, how many of them there are, how they're armed, what equipment they have. I'm like, who from the military is teaching folks this stuff? Because it really does seem like some folks are planning a military-style surveillance operation as to what ICE is doing, where and when and how. What on earth? I thought that was rather interesting. They're also doing it for Grand Blanc, and I think Mount Morris.
Yeah, let me see. I said no. I'm putting it up there. No, you're right, Linda Chetton. We don't. You're right, Mickey, because Biden let a lot of the Ukrainians in and took very good care of them. But that's what I'm saying. And people look at that. That's the point that I'm making.
That's something I've lost my temper over because when Ukraine happened, right? When it first started and they started pulling all these people over, I'm seeing how people in Flint are fucking struggling just for some clean water. Mm-hmm. But I see how these people from, say, Ukraine, from, say, south of the border running from cartel violence, or from Southeast Asia running from their governments, getting put up in hotels, getting, $300 a day for food, getting spending money, and then getting put at the top of the line for employment. Or, some states like Virginia right now is looking to give illegal immigrants in-state tuition. In-state tuition being like 1/3 the cost of out-of-state and 1/10 the cost of out-of-country tuition. So if you come here illegally, you get the same cost break as people from your state, but you're also ending up paying for them to go to school in your state. What about the folks who live in Virginia? What about the folks who have grown up there and have actually put in work into Virginia? Their families have been working an entire fucking lifetime to get them into school. How come these people go to the front of the line?
Listen, man. It's so much BS going on, man. I think I put it on my page.
Lana, real quick.
Happy birthday.
Hunter had stake in Burisma, which is a oil company in Ukraine. That was a huge thing for Republicans in the 2020 election. But yeah, that's one of the things that drives me nuts. Like, I saw my neighbors in Flint struggling for just the bare necessities of life, something that everyone needs, water, that won't fucking poison you, that won't make your skin rash and fall off. Literally. but people get to skip the line ahead of the folks in Flint. People get to skip the line ahead of the folks in, say, Douglas, Arizona, with policing issues. Get to skip the line ahead of people in East Palestine, Ohio, where the train derailed and fucked up their water. You've got housing crises across the country, but we're filling up apartment buildings with subsidized housing for people who just decided that they get to skip the line. And it's driving me nuts.
I mean, yeah, 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 yeah. Oh my goodness, they talking about Flint resident. I'm looking at bills and I'm just listen. I don't know how we gonna figure it out. Damn, I ain't have it on my page.
Or how about people who want to make a decent living? And one of the best livings you can make in middle class America is as a truck driver. But you can come, for, say, illegally from India. You start off on a green card, then you just say, fuck it, I don't need that anymore. Get your CDL, you don't have to speak English. You can
Right.
go ahead and just be a hazard on the road while several hardworking people who have immigrated here either legally are on permanent green card status and keep it updated, or were born here, want to get into that industry, but they're being undercut by people who need maybe like a third of the pay to be
Mm,
happy because all the rest of their cares and needs are taken care of by subsidized government spending.
facts.
That irritates the shit out of me.
How did I not have that on here? How did I not have that on here? That's my bad. I did not have that on here. I didn't get to put the video. I gotta go. So, how do y'all feel about Boxables, Elon Boxable? I mean,
It's very cheap housing, but I don't think they last very long, do they? And I mean, if you want to live in a box, no one really wants to live in a box.
but this is the thing. How do we keep letting the rich keep see? Well, we not being honest. We that was a transfer of wealth. Like I keep hearing, well, y'all when he's saying gas $1.98, until y'all put people in here that's really gonna do for them. But I don't think you're gonna get no president that do for American people. I think we really got to confuse that the president is really the shot caller of the United States.
Um,
I
I
think we got that confused.
I had to explain to one of my European friends yesterday because she's sitting there. I support capitalism and America is a capitalist country, but I'm like, whoa, hold on. No, we are no longer capitalist. We're not communist either. We've become something completely bastardized and different. I call it corporativist. In other words, instead of having a free market where you are allowed to vote on a product with your almighty dollar, you are shoehorned into having to spend your almighty dollar with one of a few corporations, and those corporations have more stake and more say and less really at risk than you, the average consumer. They can put out a trash product that
Yes,
can
it
fucking
is.
kill you,
Middle
but
yeah.
they don't have any sort of backlash on it. Or if they do, it's very minimal and doesn't really affect their bottom line. These people, there's a comic I saw, and it was, hey, bribing government officials is illegal. You're right. This isn't bribery. It's lobbying. What's the difference? There is none.
Nah, but
Like
especially
you and
when
I don't have the money for
yeah,
lobbying, but these corporate interests do. We aren't capitalist anymore. We're a corporate state.
yeah, when you look at APAC right now, did y'all see what was his name? Hot damn, from South Carolina? What's his name? The congressman from South Carolina, Lindsey Graham.
Oh, okay.
How do we even have these people in office? When did you see what he said? If America
No.
don't protect Israel, if we stop, God gonna destroy America. I keep telling y'all, all these people are getting very religious now. Our people, they fight a religion. They using religion, but it ain't like they ever stop. Where do we get this? Do people understand these are some sick people? Do they understand that? He was trying to say against APAC they found, but don't get it twisted. This found out Hakeem Jeffries was taking APAC money, giving it to Democrats.
Mhm.
so so that's like Mike Huckabee. Listen, man, some of this stuff that we doing. How I gotta ask a question to you, Trevor. How do we give Israel blind loyalty like we do?
A few reasons.
I'm listening.
One would be guilt over Holocaust.
That didn't happen here. Okay.
And it didn't happen here, but we didn't
Uh,
step in, and we feel guilty about it. Okay, that's
okay.
not my feeling, but that's
I
just the
got you.
thing,
I got
right?
you.
Like my hands didn't fucking kick the dog. I don't feel bad. Well, I feel bad for the dog, but I don't feel
Okay.
guilty about it. Okay. Another part is regional partnership. And don't like when they say stability, that's not really the case. It's we've dicked around in the Middle East for too long, and we came directly from Great Britain, which dicked around the Middle East for far longer.
Mm-hmm.
So there's obviously not a lot of love for the United States or Great Britain in the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've got a permanent partner as long as we can keep them there that holds a lot of our stockpile stuff and can act as a launching point into the Middle East. Now the problem is they got really good at politics really fucking fast, and a lot of money went into controlling a lot of people here. Whereas it should be, if we're talking about how we set you up, you owe us, you know, we should be leading them. Instead, it feels like they're leading us.
Okay. I get you when you saying that, but I'm looking at new one. But they didn't step in to end slavery neither. And see that goes back, and that's what I want to. They did. That's what I'm saying. How you can feel bad something that happened that didn't happen here and pay reparations for. I'm just being honest. And you don't even want to pay reparations for the people that you with what you done here. Because I'm saying that's that moral compass again. That I mean we just lying. I mean
You're
I'm just saying we
trying to
just
apply morality to nation building, to national like when it comes to that, there is no morality. It's just who can either get their point across better or who can apply the most force, right? Like I don't think that there's ever been a nation that was morally or ethically right if you actually take a look at any of them. Like many of them had debauchery, had massacres in their own countries and their own borders for so long. But you take a look at a history book and they're all, a history book they wrote. They're morally right and just, and it's never been a thing. The Romans were fucking terrible, right? The Greeks, fucking terrible. Spartans used to enslave other Greeks, which was frowned upon. But hey, what are the other Greeks going to do? Spartans won, right? You go to medieval Europe. You had a dude living really comfy in a castle, and then not 100 yards away, you had people starving to death in the fields, working fields, growing food, but they couldn't touch none of it. I don't think that there's ever been a right and just and morally correct country ever.
but that's what I'm saying. But that's what
You
I'm
just
saying.
have to spin it to where people
And
think that you're
no,
closer to being right.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying because it's being spent. But once again, it goes back to we saying, oh, we feel bad for what happened over there, but we didn't feel bad for what happened over here. We didn't feel bad what happened to in Rwanda because I just remember Janet Reno. Like I tell y'all, don't watch the Holly. You can watch the Hollywood. Go watch the documentary, but it was a movie. It was called Sometimes It Rain in April and go look what they did over in Africa with the Watusis and the Hutus that was getting together for thousands of years until the Belgian came. And Janet Reno, this was Clinton was in office. And you know what she said? She said, we don't see the difference between the blacks here in America to them over there. They didn't care, but they got their people out, but they let them people in the Belgium. And that's what I'm saying. When we look at the colonialism that's really going on in these countries, but we'll sit back and say, oh, we feel bad for what we did over here. But yet we'll create massacres over here. It just to me, it's just like we picking and choosing on like what we doing, and that's why I said again, once again, America when they had at the United Nations when they was having a forum on racism, America didn't show up, and to me, it's a slap in the face to us, to the blacks that's here in America. What you mean is no racism going on, and we said we just had a problem in Goodrich, but to be honest with y'all, with the basketball game, with the kid, that's what the problem. See, these the problems that we have. And man, Winter's probably gonna go in on a little more of this later on tonight during the nightly nip. But see, them the problems that we have. We're gonna keep having all this stuff being made when you the minority. That's why that's why I was trying. I didn't get what Anna Navarro when she was crying on The View. This what they doing to her. We being chased. it's like everybody want to use that. Like, okay, if it happened for a year, imagine happening for hundreds of years.
It's political expedience, dude. So, what is the biggest gripe right now? Right now, it's ICE. Okay.
Yeah,
So, people are going to jump on that for political expedience. So, I remember Selena Gomez about a year ago crying, "This is what they're doing to my people." Bitch, you were born wherever, but you are now a United States citizen and you're worth millions of fucking dollars. And you didn't give a rat's ass when this happened under the previous administration, under the first Trump administration, under the Obama administration, deporter in chief, as you keep reminding us. But now, because your record sales are fucking falling, now you have a problem and you have to make it ticky tacky. It's
yeah,
political expedience, political selective outrage, as you
yeah,
like to keep calling it, right?
yeah.
It's political morality. Whatever gets you further in terms of your own political power or your own wallet in some of these starlets cases is what the bigger deal is. And that's where they're going to make the stink. It isn't something that, oh, well, no one's talking about it right now, so I might as well bring it up. No, they want to be the first to talk about it, the first to get their name on it. And then, oh, well, I'm going to start a nonprofit. As we see in Flint, how nonprofits go,
No,
or their record sales go up. Or, I mean, well, let's take a look for a second here at the selective outrage. Palestine has been having problems for a hot minute, right?
Mhm.
For a long while. Only recently do you see people putting the Palestinian flag in their name. And then you have to ask, well, what the fuck does putting a Palestinian flag in your name on Facebook do? Yeah, you really fucking saved them, didn't you? You showed them, you gave them all the support in the fucking world, didn't you? It's
I'm
just showing for fucking political expedience, likes and clicks and money.
no, oh, his shit jumped off. I think on this aspect, I think maybe not from all the places we be at, but um, from the parts that I be in, people been talking about that fires was been going on in Palestine. Fires,
Parts that you're in, but
yeah, no, because
look
I
at the
can show you,
stars,
yeah,
like
yeah,
rich folk, or take a look at
no,
regular folk across
yeah,
Facebook.
yeah,
You don't
yeah,
see, you didn't see that popping up as much. Remember when a terrorist attack happened in
yeah.
France? I want to say 2014.
Mhm.
You'd see French flags all over Facebook. You didn't see it before. You haven't seen it since. If something were to pop off, say in well, let's just pick Cambodia, a huge human rights crisis pops up, and you'll start seeing a Cambodian flag in everyone's fucking profile, and they'll forget Palestine just as quickly. Why? Because it's politically expedient. No one actually like. I don't think that as many people as you see give a rat's ass. They're just trying to be either on the cool new thing or pass a purity test for their peers.
But I think that we created that when it happened here in America when you had the World Trade Center. Everybody was throwing up the American flag. They all show symbolism, but that show you,
That's a true
yeah,
deal too. Like,
yeah,
oh, let's put an American flag in my profile picture. Well,
yeah,
that fucking helped America, didn't it?
yeah,
That
but
showed the people
yeah,
that did it, whether they be American terrorists. We're not going to jump into that, but that showed them that really fucking helped the situation, didn't it?
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But that just show you how we all be programmed. I think about the movie Men in Black when they put the thing up in here and make you forget everything. I think that's what we at when you see TV. They come out because they always gonna create a new boogeyman. That's right. Listen, we know like far even this big beating the wars of drum, and this is reason what I'm saying. I'm not believe me. I understand what the Democrats doing. They feel like they didn't win because right now, being associated with Trump, if you're a congressperson, is going to look like you might take a loss. But this how the midterms happen every year. This has been going on. The Democrats might take the House or the Senate. They might take both, or they might get one. This is going to happen. But what they banking on, and it's not against us. They banking on that they're going to get the Hispanic community for their vote because Trump basically lost that community, even down to the Arab Americans. They didn't lost that community because what's going on over in Israel. And I think what people is fed up with, America is tired of going to war. The residents, I mean the citizens. Let me say that the citizens of America, not the citizens.
I mean,
They tired. You know what I'm saying? They tired of war. Because the first thing gonna happen, even though we say once they show one casket, the news show one casket, the lot of the politicians, and you gonna see them, they gonna start flip flopping. You gonna have trouble on your hands because they already looked at. We went in Iraq, we went in Afghanistan, we 32 trillion in debt. People, and why you think and they really war fatigue? To be honest with you, people, I'm not finna keep because you want to go over there and do something that ain't got nothing to do with us.
That's something I hashed out with a lot of my European friends yesterday. They said, if the United States, we are very happy with what you did with Venezuela, but you have to keep on it. You have to put troops there. Fuck you. Where the fuck are the Spanish troops? Where are the Norwegian troops? Fuck you. Right? We did a thing. We're doing it in terms of politics and economics to try to fucking lean it the way we want, with a bit of fear tinged by, the kidnapping, the yoinking, the arrest, however you want to put it, right? Without putting troops on the ground. In my mind, if we had to do it, if it was done, I'd rather it done like this than putting, say, 26,000 troops in the jungles and having Vietnam 2 electric boogaloo. But they're sitting there pushing for it. Or, oh, when are you guys going to invade Iraq? Where the fuck are your troops? All fucking Spain's 68,000 troops. All of England's fucking, 76,000 plus some reservists. Where's France's legions, the Foreign Legion and their home guard? Where the fuck are they? Why are you telling the United States to go do it? It's like Europe wants us to constantly be at war and not do anything about it themselves. I'm like, if you want something done, you can go do it your fucking self at this point.
Yeah. No, I feel you on that. But that's the thing right there. We got to figure it out. I mean, not us, but us voters. We got to vote because I'm going to be honest with you. Just because you vote the Democrats in wasn't meaning they was going to stop what they was doing over in Israel. I mean, to the Palestinians. They won't even come and say it's and you can get in trouble for this saying it's a genocide. This how rough it is. Lindsey Graham said he don't want to hear about it no more. Mike Huckabee, but if y'all are Americans, who are y'all working for?
I mean,
I'm just being honest. Who are you
as we saw from that quote, not the American people. And while Republicans might have stood up, many of them are taking money from foreign nations as well.
Facts.
I'll go ahead and point that finger right at them because, hey, I'm not receiving no foreign money, so fuck you, right? But like, I don't care where you're receiving money from. Actually, I prefer you just not receive money. But your first priority, Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, Green Party, upside down, backwards, if your political party is voting for the stop sign down the street from me, your first priority should be Americans.
Yeah.
Right? Whether they were born here, whether they are naturalized, or whether they're legal residents but not quite citizens yet, but they still have a very vested stake in the country. And then it shouldn't matter about anything else other than that. Are you contributing to America? Are you reliant on America and American borders? Those should be your first people to take care of. You shouldn't be sending money all over the world to try to fucking gain votes in the UN. The UN don't like us. Fuck them. I mean, we don't even listen to the UN 90% of the time anyway. Okay? Why are we trying to fucking win political favors with LGBTQIA plus theaters down in South America? Why are we trying to, fund think tanks, conservative think tanks over in Germany? How about we keep that money here and say put it into Flint's water infrastructure? How about we start unfucking some of these roads? You and Winter showed a beautiful pothole, and I believe it was Iowa.
Iowa, Oklahoma, one of the two.
Omaha, there we go. Nebraska, that sinkhole. How about we start fixing some of our roads? How about we start updating some of our rail lines? How about any of these fucking things? How about we start building ships again and create many jobs there instead of spending that money on people who don't fucking care about us and don't like us and will never fucking vote for us in the UN. And honestly, the only reason that they even remotely pretend they like us is because they want our military power. How about we keep that for ourselves and they can go sink or swim on their own?
For sure. Well, family, we at the 11 o'clock, and I'm sorry that I'm late, but I had to drop one of the cars off at the shop. I got to go pick it up. They just hit me. Well, I had to get the tires. My stems, man, I done hit so many with the stems on the tires. I had to get them redid. So
Man,
I'm
check your
going back.
rims now. Since you hit so many of them fucking potholes.
Dude, listen, on the truck, I got to get front end of line. They tell I got to get ball
Oh,
joints,
shit.
and that's $1,000. I got to go get
Is that the truck that I've seen you driving
Yep,
before? Or
yep,
is that the new
yep.
one?
No,
Oh,
yep, yep, yep.
the import, man. You might as well trade it in at this point.
Yeah, they told me, but that's from hitting all the potholes.
Yeah, I told you about the
Potholes. This
pothole I
one,
hit in my old Buick that sent my tire going across the street.
I told you, I'm on my way. I told you I hit a pothole. The engine light went off. The brake lights came on. Power steering light came. Listen, man, they was on for damn near 2 or 3 days. But I was the engine light had been on.
Every
But
time you let go of the wheel, your car goes, wait.
nah, I'm trying to tell you, but family, thank you. Got any last words, Trevor?
No, this was a good $5 Friday. Good discussion. I had a lot of fun talking about it. I hope to see you guys tonight in chat with the nightly nip. I think tomorrow we got off, and then Sunday, I believe guaranteed we have
Me and
you and
Elliot.
Mr. Elliott.
Yeah, Anna just had a couple people that passed, going through some
Prayers
stuff.
to Anna
Shout
and
out to Anna,
family.
yeah.
Take the time you need.
Yeah, her and Yogi. So they might be on this Saturday. I mean, not Saturday, this Sunday, but I'll let y'all know. So stay tuned. And peace.
Later.
Yep.